Hey everybody, welcome back to the Dungeon Dive. Okay, so I hope everybody had a nice Thanksgiving with friends and family. Took a couple days off from making videos. I have been playing some games though. Mainly, what did we play? We started playing a fantastic game called The King's Dilemma, which I am for sure going to talk about at some point. It's not really a dungeon crawl. It's kind of a fantasy, diplomacy, political game. Amazing game. And I have been playing some Myth because I'm getting ready to launch my series on Myth. Probably I'll have one more video after we finish up the Aftermath playthrough, and then I'm going to dive into Myth because I know I've been promising to get to that video series this entire year, so hopefully I will at least start it in 2019. But anyways, we are back to Aftermath, and we are now inside the Dungeon of Injo, trying to work our way through the mechanisms and the mechanical corridors in order to reach the onion snoodles. So this mission here, you can actually, well, let's go ahead and let's read some flavor text first. Okay, so at the start, oh, I can almost taste those cheesy crunchums. Ringer's voice has a metallic echo inside the machine. All I can taste is guinea pig, sighs Whisper. Well, excuse me, snaps Grumple indignantly. I'm moving as fast as I can. Stop crowding me. You press yourselves against the cool metal of the mechanical interior and help find your way as the diffused light from the dirty plexiglass only provides gloomy details to your eyes. You have to work your way through a complicated series of contraptions and gizmos before you can get to the treat locker where the goodies are stored. Okay, so we want to place our heroes at the beginning here. Right now, at the entrance space, I should say. Right now, the situation is safe. There are no enemies on the board. We're going to place our clue tokens. And we need to place the cheesy snoodles here, or the onion. I keep calling them cheesy snoodles. The onion snoodles. And with a party of 2 characters, those actually get placed on the C here. Now, this game introduces a few special rules, or this scenario introduces a few special rules, and those are in the variety of these environment cards. Okay, so these are things that you can add to your game, or that will be added to your game to introduce new mechanisms, new things that you're going to have to encounter and deal with. One is moving a heavy object. So the onion snoodles are considered a heavy object. So to move them, moving a heavy object token across a dotted white line requires a group task of any attribute, difficulty 4. Only characters on the space can contribute to the task. And let's see, when crossing a colored line, only a matching colored card can be used to initiate the task. Place all cards played to the group task with this card. When you are successful, you can move the heavy object token and all figures in that space that contributed to the task to an adjacent space. Additionally, inside this mechanical dungeon, we have low visibility. So all ranged attacks have a range of 0, or basically all attacks have a range of 0. So there will be no range attacks across spaces. Everything is in the single space. And finally, we have forced movement. Figures and tokens occupying a space with an arrow are subject to forced movement. This could be from a water current or sloping terrain or even wind. When a player places a threat card on the threat check, all figures and tokens that are on a space with an arrow must move one space in the direction of that arrow. And so there are, I believe, 3 different forced movement spaces on this board. This space here will push you to here. This space will push you here, and then this space will push you right here, right before this red line here, which I will get to in a moment. So those are all of the special rules for this scenario. And now, or those are all of the environment special rules. Now we have some additional special rules. So carrying the snoodles can be carried using the heavy object environment rule. If you carry the onion snoodles onto the entrance space, which is here, we successfully complete our mission. So one of the ways this particular scenario can end is if we get in, grab the snoodles, and get back out with them in hand. Additionally, this scenario has an alternate way that it can end, and that's if these snoodles, so these snoodles right now, they are in the spring mechanism that pushes the snacks in the vending machine closer to the drop where you can reach in and grab them, okay? Now, anytime a figure passes this red line, moving from 1 to 2 here, that pushes the mechanism and causes this spring to advance 1, pushing the snoodles 1 step closer to the cliff edge. If they ever fall down here, they are removed from the game. We have to chase them and we have to drop down, moving on to the next scenario to recover them. So with this in mind, I actually want to force that to happen because I want to go on to the next scenario in order to fight a boss for this playthrough. So this adventure here that we're on right now is going to be a little artificial because I'm actually just going to I'm going to go ahead and force the onion snoodles to fall, so we have to chase them. That will lead to some extra time, which will be bad for our settlement because we are already at 6 time. We're 1 over already because we had to nest so often. And on our first, what was that, our first or second mission, we did really, I was just getting my butt kicked. So we have had to take some extra time, but I still want to see what a boss fight is like because I actually haven't experienced one yet. So right now we're on 7 food, 8 population, 1 clue, 19 scrap. Our scrap is almost maxed out. We have a 6 morale and we're at 6 time. I hope this is right. I should remember to always at the end of these scenarios show this on camera because I did drop this and it fell and I think some of these tiles got bumped, but I tried to set it up as close as to what I could piece together from the last video. So I'm pretty sure this is right, or it's very close to right, close enough for us. So we want to force these snoodles to drop, and then possibly we can pick up some of these clues on our way to retrieving them. So right now we are in the draw phase, and we're going to start with Grumple here. So Grumple has his influence card, or her influence card I should say, plus 1, 2, 3. So we're going to give these a shuffle because they were reset all the way completely. Okay, so we're going to draw 1 there. And okay, so we're at 5 now. So I'm going to go ahead and spin this as a green 1 to cross that green spot there. I am going to go ahead and, we are at point of interest 1, so let's read that here. You stare at a spring-loaded metal sprocket turnstile contraption thingy. A wee light trickles in from the slit, and you realize human coins were supposed to fall in and roll along a track until they triggered a small motor that would advance the turnstile by 1 notch. The only way to get inside is to push your way through this metal rusty contraption. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and use this red 2 to move across that red line. So that's going to go 1. But I have to stop here for another point of interest. And that's going to be at interest 2. The only way up is to try to climb the sloping catch chute. The metal is smooth and does not offer much traction, which kind of leads us to our slipping back the forced movement mechanism. However, we did cross this red line, so these onion snoodles are going to be pushed to the next letter. So let's see what I want to do. I can only actually move one more without having to spend additional cards to again get past this green. So I'm going to go ahead and spend this blue 2 to move one spot there. And that is going to end Grumple's turn. Now we are to Messiah, who has 4 cards as well. He's going to draw 1, giving him the, what is that called? The Calamity. Almost forgot. So the Calamity in this encounter, again, is you encounter the hunt. We don't have anything on the hunt board. Nothing is chasing us from previous missions. So we don't need to encounter the Calamity. We would just roll and add our time to this roll, and it would trigger on a 4+. We are at time 6, so it does, I guess we could, so if you rolled it, we're at 6 minus 1, we would be at 5. We would still have to encounter the Calamity if we had anything on the hunt, but we don't, so we are just going to discard this. Okay, so now we want Messiah here is going to spend 3. He's going to go 1. He's going to spend 2 to cross this. 1, 2. Now Messiah doesn't have to stop on the points of interest anymore because we've already encountered them. And he's going to spend his influence card to move 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Oh, additionally, these clue tokens also get pushed when we cross this red line. So we cross the red line with Messiah. The onion snoodles push and he can just, I like that how he like ran through, and he could just see them as they're hanging on. Are they going to drop? And they've dropped all the way to the bottom. Out of sight, we must chase them. And then these clue tokens actually move 1 more spot up. So hopefully we can grab a couple of those on our way to the cliff. Okay, so we are back to Grumple. So let's see, Grumple has 2 cards. We're going to draw 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we do have 1 threat. So we need to place that threat on the track there. And then, because of the forced movement, when we place the threat card, Grumple does get pushed back. She slips, trying to grab on, but she can't. So she is 1 spot back. So she's going to spend 1 to move 1. She's going to spend this as a green 3 to move 1, 2, 3. She's able to cross that line there. And then, let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and spend her red 3. Well, actually, I can't. Yeah, I will go ahead and spend a red 3 to move 1, 2, 3. This is a green line here if you can't see it. So we need to spend green points to get, or green cards, or 3 points of movement to get over here to grab those search tokens. All right, so we are now back to Messiah, who needs 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, okay. So 2 threat. So we are going to place those there and those there. So now, let's see here. Not quite enough to actually move and grab 1. So the threat we placed, it would cause anything that was here to get moved back. There's nothing to worry about for the forced movement there. Let's see here. I will go ahead and spend this green 2 to move 1, 2, crossing that line. And I'm going to hold on to these for searching. Okay. So we are back to Grumple. 1. So Grumple has a yellow 2. She's going to need 4 more cards. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so now we're going to have our surge. I'm going to place this down here, and we will have it after we take our turn here. So let's see here. Okay, this is good. I have a green 1, so she can jump over to this other spring. She jumps from one spring mechanism to the other, landing with a heavy thud of her guinea pig girth. Grumple of guinea pig girth. So she has a 2. I'm going to go ahead and spin that 2 to initiate a search to try to grab that clue. And I need a 3 or higher. 2 plus 2 is 4. Okay, so I can grab that. And that gives us 3 more food, taking our food up to 10. Excellent. So, you know what? Let's see here. We are going to, I'm just going to advance. I'm just going to have Grumple spin this 3 to run and jump off the cliff here, falling down below, chasing the onion snoodles. And now we are back to Messiah. All right. Oh, we do need to initiate this this threat here. So we remove all of these cards. And now we have to initiate the surge. So the surge is the first surge, go to 47-2. So 47-2 here, and that reads, "It's a good thing none of us are afraid of tight spaces," notes Messiah. "Thank you, Mezzy. I appreciate that," groans Grumple. "Could this get any worse?" Suddenly, you hear soft skittering sound from below. Ravenous roaches begin to squeeze through tiny holes and gaps in the old machine. "Roaches!" cries Messiah, in warning to the others. Grumple gives an exasperated cry and thumps her head against the metal wall in frustration. "I hate you, Mezzy." "Oh, I love you too, Grumpykins," he laughs. Encounter 6 roaches. The situation does turn hostile. And resolve an enemy turn. Okay, so we are going to have 6 roaches come out. Now the roaches are represented by little tokens here, or as it says in the book, you can use your roaches from Mice and Mystics, but I like these because they are colored. Nice little art. And we're going to get 6, and they come here at the beginning spot, so they're crawling up. I love how thematic that is, because on this old vending machine with all these crumbs and old snacks around, of course there would be these roaches in the inner workings of the machine. That is super cool. And then we need to grab our roaches card, and they are going to take a turn, so they can only do one thing. They move and they swarm. Now, for them to cross this line here, they all have to cross at the same time. That's not a big problem because they are going to move together right now. So they are going to move 2, so they're going to move 1, and they're actually going to cross this line 2, which does cause the springs to move, and that's going to move Messiah up 1, and it's going to move these tokens up 1. And so we are going to go ahead and put the roaches back there. All right, so Grumple just dove over the cliffside, chasing the onion snoodles. Messiah needs 3 cards. I think Messiah's going to go ahead and discard this yellow 1 and draw 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, a lot of 1s. Well, let's see here. I will use this green 1 to move 1 over. I will move this blue 2 to move 2. And then I will go ahead and initiate a search with this 2 and this yellow 1. So that's going to be a 3. Plus 2 is 4. I'm going to go ahead and grab this one here. Oh, and we found another clue. Awesome. That's the first time I found a clue in one of these search tokens. So that's going to take our clue up to 2, and we're going to encounter the clues at a later time in this video. Or in this video series, I should say. So Mazai has one more card. After he grabs that clue, after he finds something that triggers a memory, maybe he finds a piece of cloth or some kind of old, I don't know, relic of some kind trapped in this spring, he too joins Grumple and the Onion Snoodles and dives off the edge, taking him to the next map. All right, so let's see what happens when we leave there. You cannot use this exit unless you are carrying the Snoodles or they have been removed from play, which is true. When leaving by this exit, go to page 49. So we're just going to turn, so these roaches now, they become part of the hunt. The situation was hostile. We left enemies on the board, so we move this card to the hunt and we move these roaches here. So that really could come back to haunt us, which is pretty cool. These roaches are going to be chasing us, and the last full package of snacks in this machine. So now we're going to go to 49, and here we are at the bottom of the machine. Here you can see the springs at the top, and we have fallen, and we are going to land here, and we are going to pick this up in the next video. So all right, guys, well, I hope you enjoyed this. We're almost done. We're going to probably have this encounter here, which is going to be a boss encounter, and then we're going to have one video where we show what happens after a mission and how we start to develop and work on our settlement and our personal goals possibly. So all right, we'll take it easy and we will talk to you guys later. Bye bye.